Hello, we are on our way up north to Gatehouse of Fleet, one of my favourite places to gravel. I love to play this game where instead of stopping at the service station, I Google, Joe's looking at me. Hi Joe.
Hiya.
I Google restaurants and I like look them up and I find something interesting. So this is a barn. Alert. Sweet potato. We're going to Gatehouse of Fleet, which is in Galloway, for the Gralloch, which is a UCI race. I did it last year. It's an amazing course. It's just absolutely gorgeous gravel up there. Now, this race is only 110 kilometers, so it's a very short race in the grand scheme of gravel racing. Not necessarily that suited to me in terms of like distance because it's quite short. You don't really need endurance to do 110k, I'd say. I might change my mind on that on Saturday. It's going to be fast, it's going to be hard. I had a look at the start list the other day for the Gralloch and I was like, whoa, it's a stacked field in the women's and the men's, but I mean the women's list for the elite women's, insane. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's really cool, especially like how international the field is. Last year, there were like a few international riders, but it was mainly Brits. This year, everyone's traveling the world for the Gralloch. It just says a great thing about the sport that it's bringing in so much talent. It's exciting. And most importantly, for the car, I have a Biscoff brownie from our amazing lunch stop, which probably shouldn't be eating 2 days before a race necessarily, but I really wanted it. I've just arrived here in Gatehouse of Fleet and this hotel is gorgeous. So I'm staying at the Murray Arms, which is also called Lagan. And yeah, wow. I am out riding the first climb of the Gralloch. It's a really nice climb. I'm just back from an absolutely like stunning recce ride. The riding here is pretty 11 out of 10, I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna sort myself out, go and sign on. And yeah, I've got a few things on today. I'm speaking later today on a panel. There's a really like bougie, very nice candle fragrance, soaps, that kind of vibe shop here, and I'm popping over there later to do something with them, which is very exciting. I've also just seen that in the fantasy gravel like votes, community votes, I've been voted 5th, which if I came 5th in the Gralloch, I'd be buzzing. I think the community have more faith in me than I have in me. So thank you, community. This morning, I went and helped lead the cycling school bus. So here in Gatehouse of Fleet on Fridays, they like all cycle to the primary school together and like pick up kids on the route. And I cycled with them and that was so lovely. And the kids were so chatty, like they just wanted to chat to me and ask me questions and wish me luck for tomorrow. So I'm hoping their good luck helps me tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everybody. If you're enjoying the sunshine here at the Gralloch, I have to ask you, what's the name of your bike?
So the kids asked me today what my bike was called on like the cycle bus to school, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I don't have a bike name.
You don't have a bike name?
I don't have a bike name. All of my bikes have names.
Everybody.
Welcome to another episode of Cooking in a Hotel Room. And today on the menu is a really exciting, adventurous dish that I've spent ages like creating the recipe, developing it. Yeah, I'm just gonna make rice again. Unfortunately, I couldn't find arborio rice in Spa, so your faithful basmati rice is what we're going for. Okay, hilarious. So just bumped into like the guy who like runs this hotel, and he's just like, guys, you guys dining with us tonight, right? We've got rice, we've got chicken. You don't want chips before your race. So obviously last night we had like burger and chips, and we were all like, oh God, like we can't race on burger and chips. But I don't think anyone even said it to them. I think they'd probably already planned. And he was like, yeah, we've got rice and chicken. I've already turned my rice cooker on to make my hotel room rice. But I feel like their rice is gonna be so much nicer. Dilemma. So my solution is maybe I have rice in my room and then I have the second round of rice downstairs, even though the race is only 111k. I still need carbs, I guess, for that long. I'm basically a Michelin star chef at this rate. This is a new kind of Netflix and chill. I'm gonna really mix it up for dessert, and I'm gonna have some rice, but with cinnamon and honey. Here we have my setup for the Gralloch. So I've got a Ribble Gravel SL with these special Parkour's secret wheels. I've got Gravel King X1 tyres and I'm riding a 40. Group set wise, I've got SRAM, Force, ETAP. My cassette's 1144 and I've changed my chain ring from a 38 at the tracker to a 40 here because it's quite a rolling course with no steep climbs. Sella Italia Suplo carbon rail road saddle, but I find that works really well on gravel. Also, I have added a chain guard from last year because if anyone remembers last year's video, I had 3 chain drops in the first climb and that's how I completely lost the front of the race. So chain guard this year. Yeah, my Wahoo Element Roam. My number board is a little bit hidden by my GoPro. It's a gorgeous morning, so time for rice. Hello, I thought I'd do a little interview with my horns on my bed. So this is my pre-race interview. Different style for this one because I don't have an interviewer, I'm just interviewing myself. So pre-race interview, what questions am I gonna ask myself? How are you feeling for this race? So, to be honest, I'm pretty nervous for this race because it's such a shorter distance than the sort of races that I typically do and enjoy, that it means that the intensity is going to be so much higher, and like my kind of riding and what I'm good at is, I want to say lower intensity, but it's just like not that top end power. So I think I'm going to be in a lot of pain. I'm seeing this as like a real challenge and opportunity. It's a chance for me to try new things and like try and push myself harder and see like where my top end power is and how my fitness is and whether actually I can go a bit deeper, basically like dig a bit deeper, go harder than maybe I think I can. I have no expectations. Genuinely looking at the start list, I'm like, this is a really, really strong start list. Even some of like the road riders, this is not technical enough, of course. I'm like, it's too gravelly for them. I'm just gonna try my absolute best. Yeah, normally strategically, like at the tracker, I held back, I rode my own race. This race, I'm gonna do the exact opposite because it's a complete experiment. There's nothing like landing on this race for me. Okay, my big target is no chain drops because last year I had 3 chain drops in the first 10k and I was just completely out of the race from that point. So if I can get through the first 10k with no chain drops, we're better than last year.
About literally. Bit fitter this year? Yeah, much better. Used to get a puncture last year. Let's see how it goes this year. Good luck. Nathan Haas. Max, if you want to give me the nod when you want to start. Second countdown. Elite riders, are you ready? 10, 9, 2, 1, away you go!
Okay, I might instantly regret this, but I'm trying a new tactic where I put sweets in my cargo bib pockets. Yeah. Got some giant strawberries in there. I think they're probably gonna melt, so I'm gonna have to eat them first. Oh, we'll see what happens.
Maddie Nutt, riding for Ribble Collective. Go, Maddie! How are you this morning, Maddie? You were very upbeat yesterday.
Yeah, I'm good. This weather is absolutely glorious. I'm worried a little bit about the heat, but I appreciated the lie-in.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Away we go, the elite winner here. And Gralloch 2024, the Trek UCI Gravel World Series.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but welcome to Swanee Camp. And it's a beautiful day, and given that this is a self-supported race, I've really got not much to do beyond cheer. Anyway, things are just beginning to build up, and with luck, the weather will hold out. It'll be a brilliant day. Most important bit for Swanees, of course, not registration, but coffee.
So the race started with a very short neutral section through the town, so this is that. I had a little panic that I was too far back, and then I somehow managed to get myself on the front, which was a little bit silly because I definitely wasn't too far back, and then I was literally in the wind. But here's the kind of quad bikey thing releasing us, and then we were going up a road climb which would turn into a gravel climb very shortly after, so I knew it was going to go pretty hard. I actually realised I lost my route on my woohoo at this point, so I actually was faffing about, went backwards because I was putting my route onto my woohoo because it had thought I'd finished. And then yeah, we turned left here onto the first gravel section, and I was a little bit further back than I wanted to be at the start, so I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to work my way forward. And it's quite hard here because there's really thick gravel in the middle, in the centre line, so it's very difficult to work your way forward without kind of riding over that, and then you've got an extra puncture risk there. So I was trying to pick my line, pick little gaps, and work my way through the girls here because I was feeling pretty good. It's just everyone's trying to get further forward before the first kind of descenty section. Coming up to the top of the hill, I was towards the front, but I couldn't really work out how far forward I was, but I was pretty happy with my position here, and I was like, right, I just need to keep pushing because this climb continues on for about 20 minutes in total, so you just kind of have to keep committing and pushing even though you've got this like little descent in between, and there are some quite rocky bits on this climb as well. You can actually see the front of the race right there in front, and I can see them in the distance, and I was like, oh, I want to get to them, but it's just so hard. Like after the effort you've done in your legs, it's so hard to actually make that gap. So whenever anyone came round a bit faster, I'd try and like accelerate round and actually keep pushing, but yeah, it was really hard mentally to just keep pushing when you could see the race just that bit too far in front. So here again we can see the front of the race in front there, and it was just that little bit too far, but I tried to push on a bit more, but it was really hard because no one really wanted to do the work to close the gap, but also you do need to do the work if you're going to try and close it. And yeah, I found Tiff here and tried to get on her wheel for a bit, and work with her for a bit, knowing that she'd probably be trying to get towards the front of the race. And you can see here, look how chunky the rocks are. So you can see here bottles everywhere, and the men's race had gone before us, and like the gravel was pretty rough and you had the risk of your bottles flying out. Luckily mine didn't, but that was something to also think about, is like hydration in this heat. It was actually so hot, which is something I'll come on to later. So here we're being told to slow down because there was a crash, and this is roof in front here. So I knew Ruth was also making a YouTube video of the race, so I decided to sit behind her for a little bit, one for her draft, but also to get her some angles. I was also very happy to find myself in a little group with my old teammate Anna Flynn, and that made me very happy because we're friends. So I was like, well, I'm going to spend the day probably riding with Anna, which is great. So this course wasn't technical, but it was just really fast in terms of the descents, and the group I was with mainly consisted of mountain bikers. We kind of formed this little group, and I think most of them were mountain bikers, and let me tell you, did they descend with speed. They were not holding back on the descent, so we had some pretty speedy descending over the day, and it was really good fun, but a little bit scary at points. But yeah, we formed this like little group of us. I think there were 6 of us, and not everyone took a turn on the front. There's definitely like points where some people took turns and then stopped taking turns, and I did end up later on taking a lot of wind, which maybe wasn't a great thing because you'll find out what happened to my legs later. But yeah, so here we are going down to this bit. The girl in front of me here, honestly, she descended like I've never seen anyone descend, and I turned to her and I was like, well, you're a bit of a speedy descender. We were going so fast down here, like 55 kilometers an hour. So I was trying to work out roughly where we were in the race, and I figured out we'd probably be racing for about 10th, and we actually were racing for 10th position in this group. And I think that's why people stopped taking turns, because they realised like there was potentially a qualifying spot for the Elite World Champs up for grabs. Obviously my priority with there was getting the mud off the camera lens. as I seem to be making a habit of this, my GoPro did die because I ran it for too long at the beginning to try and get like a full clip of the beginning of the race. So what happened from here to the end of the race is I was riding with this group, and actually we hit a feed station. I decided to pick up a bottle that I'd left, and I think some of the girls might have attacked through the feed zone. One other girl did stop, and then I had to sprint to get back on, which was a little bit of effort, but I did make it back on. I think Anna maybe tried to slow down the group, I'm not sure, but I managed to make it back on, which was good. My GoPro died just before the feed section, and then we rode together, picked up another rider towards the end, and basically with 12 kilometers to go, my calf suddenly seized up, like the worst cramp I've ever experienced in my life, and I could feel it kind of coming on. So I got off the bike and started stretching, and then my quad went, and I literally nearly called my dad to pick me up because I was like, I can't walk, never mind pedal. Managed to stretch a bit, got rid of it, got back on the bike, my other foot cramped. Okay, here's the feed zone here where I picked up the bottle. So time hop to present day. It is Monday morning post the Gralloch. I'm just going to recount the end of the race. Tabby is over there working on a secret project. Big secret project that I'm so excited about. This is like the most exciting thing that's happened all year. I'm trying not to get the secret project in. I'm going to come onto the balcony. Okay, so I am in my pajamas. So important end of recounting story. I had like the worst cramp I've ever had in my life on my calf. Like I actually can't even describe it. And then like everything else was going, like my quads went, my foot went, and my other foot. I got back on the bike, and then I literally couldn't pedal, and Lucy Gadd passed me and was like, come on Maddie, let's ride together. And I was like, Lucy, no, I can't pedal. Like I literally can't pedal. And then I like got up to the last little bit of the last climb, and then basically freewheeled my way down to the finish line. I did manage to push out 150 watts I think at one point, but that was the maximum I could do because my muscles were just completely gone. Anyways, crossed the finish line, and I was a bit gutted because I really do think I could have come 10th, or at least like close to 10th, because I was feeling strong in that group. And yeah, just annoying. Like it just, these things happen, don't they? Like cramps, something that I guess you can control, because maybe I could have drunk more water, or I did take on quite a lot of strong electrolytes, but you know, it's just one of those things that I need to think about now and like make a plan so that it doesn't happen again. But obviously the Scottish sun was like real strong. It was really strong. It was a really hot day. Overall happy. I don't think I can be disappointed in that effort.
That's a huge effort for the sprint. Massive sprint. Well done to Nathan Haas.
So Nathan came second in the men's elite race, which was amazing because he is a friend of mine. And then Amelia, who's a teammate of mine, came 5th in the women's elite race, which is incredible. Hiya. Oh. And after the race, Ruth invited us to a barbecue, and there were baby lambs that were literally pets, which was the highlight of my weekend. So I couldn't finish a trip to Gatehouse of Fleet without a visit to my absolute favourite spot here. That is the sea. This is Gather. Annie knows the priorities. Did you say phone eats first? Iconic.
I mean, that's salmon, that's amazing.
This looks so good. Got to finish with a scoop of ice cream. Looking forward to my next adventure, which is a trip to Rwanda, which I'm very excited about. Actually, sorry, that's a lie. I'm going to Spain for a wedding next week, and I'm taking my gravel bike, obviously. My next race is UCI race in Kenya, and then migration gravel race. So that's my big target for this year, and I'm so excited. And yeah, the secret project that is underway is just the most exciting thing. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Tabby, how excited are you about my project?
So excited.
Is it a team project?
I don't know. Is it 90-10?
It is, yeah, it's 90% Tabby, to be honest.